takeandtalkpics.com. I'm Rob Kruger, and this is episode 73 with our Monday message. So today, Photo World, I have something a little bit different. I didn't have this planned originally. It's just something that came up this past weekend, and I had to get this out to you because it's a good point to talk about. First of all, this is going to be a very short episode, just a little tiny bit of information on this topic of walking a fine line with your attitude while on the job. And really, it's just kind of coming out because of a story that I encountered, a little incident that happened, maybe, if you want to call it that, I guess. And I was working a wedding this past weekend. Awesome couple, another great wedding. I just had a good time, and we did wonderful pictures throughout the day. There was someone at the venue, which happened to be a golf course and golf club. They had a nice banquet hall and, very good space, and they had this beautiful golf course. And the couple, the bride and groom, had the opportunity to take some pictures out on the golf course. Well, there were 2 golf carts, and that's fine, I guess. It was supposed to be this guide, somebody who worked for the golf club, who was going to lead us where we could go or couldn't go, rather, for pictures. So we had specific places on the course, I guess. And the other cart was going to be for the bride and groom, so I guess I was supposed to ride with this person guiding us. But I have an assistant that I bring. I always bring an assistant. It makes my job so much easier when I'm out there and I need a lens. They can grab it. I'm not wasting time. That means I'm getting a few more pictures. Or if I have a light that needs to be set up, that's their job, not mine. I'm there taking pictures with that lead perspective. It's really important that I have the camera in my hands at all times. So for me, an assistant is extremely important for a wedding. So I have a few pictures that I really like to do, especially when I have the opportunity for just the bride and groom and not the entire bridal party or, families or anything like that. Just the bride and groom, and get some certain pictures that are going to be a little bit more thought out, a little bit more contrived with the lighting and the different techniques that I'll have in play. So I definitely want my assistant there to help out. So I asked this woman as politely as I could, because this is the first time I'm talking to her, just, oh, hey, I was wondering, can I bring my assistant? And unlike the way I thought to approach it, which was trying to take the polite way and be nice about everything, because, hey, again, first time I'm talking to this woman, she just snapped right back. Absolutely not. No, there's no room. Okay, that's interesting to me that it's not something we can figure out. I've done tons of weddings at golf courses, and I've brought my assistant plenty of times. Either they'll have a separate golf cart for us, or even when you're not supposed to, somebody will hang off the back. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing, but, it's doable, and it's not the end of the world. We're adults. We can handle this. So it's just kind of like, please work with us a little bit. So I ask again, I was like, is there really no way that this can happen? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just kind of really shutting me down very quickly. So I kind of thought this through, and in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, what is it? What's this big protection about why we need a guide for the golf course? What is it about why there's so many restrictions for a bride and groom to have access to this space? Well, in reality, and I'm a golfer myself. I love to play. Don't, think I'm amazing. I'm not. I just do it on the side. It's fun. But when I golf, yes, I want the peace and quiet. And yes, I want the space to be totally clean and ready to go and open and ready for me and other golfers. Just a nice day for golf. I get it. They don't want distractions for their golfers who are paying money to be there. But when you think about it, how much does a golfer pay? It's all over the place, of course, of what they charge and what you're getting for it. So whatever they're paying, it's not nearly the amount that the bride and groom are investing in the golf club to use the banquet hall and have it catered and all of these things going on. I mean, they're paying thousands of dollars versus maybe up to $100 or a little bit more for a golfer. So I kind of just feel like the argument is very thin from the club's perspective. And I've encountered this many times, actually, where they have these restrictions and they're really weird about it. But I used that in my mind, just thinking, you know what? This is it's not unacceptable, but think about what you're doing here. You're shutting down me, the photographer. No big deal. I'm nobody to you. But by shutting me down, you're shutting down the pictures for the bride and groom. They've already invested in the photographer, however many dollars, and they've invested in the venue, however many dollars, which should include some opportunity to get pictures at the venue. So it kind of bothered me a little bit that it was being shut down so quickly. So I approached her and I said, you know what? The bride and groom are paying a lot of money for this. And I'd really like to bring my assistant. It's a huge help to me to get pictures that they do want. She kind of looked at me and stared me down for a second, kind of huffed and puffed. And fine, it'll take a long time for me to get another golf cart. In my mind, I'm thinking, we're at a golf club. I don't think it'll be that hard to track one down, but okay, fine, take the time. In that meantime, while she ran off all angry and getting the golf cart, I decided, hey, you know what? The bride and groom, their golf cart is actually kind of decorated and looking good. It's got the just married sign on the back. They got a little, streamer hanging up around it. It looked good. It was a nice decoration just to be a little bit different than just the regular golf cart to get us around the course. So I'm taking pictures of the couple there. I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes went by in that time. She comes back with a golf cart. That didn't feel very long to me. I was doing pictures in the meantime. So wasn't a big deal. Got there. And she just starts like yelling about how we have to coordinate who is driving what cart. And apparently it was supposed to be me driving the extra cart and my assistant riding with her or something of that nature. I don't know. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'll go with my assistant because I don't want to hang out with this angry lady and I don't want my assistant to have to deal with her too. So I'll drive with my assistant. My assistant can drive and I'll hold the equipment so I can hop out and take pictures right away. And it took us, a few seconds. It wasn't very long, but just to kind of, we're fine here. And she really, in a condescending way, said, are they able to drive? About my assistant to me. It's like, ask my assistant. We're old enough to drive, yes. Have we done golf carts? Yes. Like we're not new to this. This is not our first wedding. So it was just really irritating that it just kept layering on more and more of this horrible attitude. And, I don't know what happened. Maybe she had a horrible day. But you're not supposed to take that out on the bride and groom who are, supposed to be having the happiest day. And I mean, you can take it out on me. I've gotten it a lot from different venues and things where we don't get into it, but I try to politely ask and really let them understand that it's not about us. It's about the bride and groom. Can we acknowledge that for a minute and try to help them out a little bit? This is part of their day. So I've encountered this a few times at different weddings, and it just seemed like, this is time. I gotta bring this up enough to, push the episode I had planned for today till next week. But, it's just like you gotta kind of have this fine line of understanding your role as a photographer and pushing a little bit for the bride and groom or for your client or whatever you're doing. And it's not about begging forgiveness or just trying to get away with something. It's kind of this nice little gray area that we have to deal with of, well, I want to be a good person and I want to be polite and helpful in every way I can. But at the same time, I'd like to accomplish my job here. And it may take some, adjustment in getting other people's minds right for what you're trying to get across. So walking that fine line is difficult, but when you can, and in this case with the golf carts, we went out to this location. I wasn't too happy with it, but we did some pictures and I asked if we can go up a little ways to this other little spot I was looking at. So we went up there and did some pictures, and yeah, it took me shooting it and the assistant holding a light and then the groom actually helping with the dress and then the bride in the picture. We had a whole big team effort going on for just a couple pictures, but I really did need the assistant. It just kind of came out that way. So I showed the picture in the back of the camera to the woman who we were working with about the golf carts, and it kind of all just clicked right there. Hey, there was a reason his assistant was here, and that looks pretty cool. So, and you can see the picture on the show notes page, and actually I turned that picture around pretty quick. I don't usually get them done that fast in a day here, but I got that picture done for you, Photo World, to take a look, just to see what kind of effort we put into this to accomplish those things after having such a rough situation. But once it clicked for that woman, she was so pleasant and easy to work with from then on. So it goes to show that if you do know what you're doing, which most of us do, and you say it in the right way or kind of push in the right way, and then prove your point. Not that you have to rub it in somebody's face, I told you so, this is why I need an assistant. No, you have to prove your point and just say, oh, look, this is what we got. Isn't that beautiful? Just kind of let them have the final decision, but politely keep it, killing them with kindness. That's been a long time saying, like, you kill the people with kindness. It can't hurt to do so. So just kill your people with kindness when they're having difficult interaction on a wedding day or on a job where you're supposed to be doing your job. The client is ready for it, and there's an interruption. Here it is. What can we do? Well, you got to play it safe, be polite, but then err on the side of in favor of your client, in favor of the vision. So make it happen, Photo World. Walk that line, have a good time, and of course, happy shooting. Hey Photo World, TakeTalkBook.com. That's right, you can get a free audiobook today and a free month trial subscription for Audible.com. Just go to TakeTalkBook.com and get started today. Thank you, Photo World, for stopping by on another great episode here on TakeandTalkPics.com. Be sure to share Take and Talk Pics with your friends and photo family out there. Tweet about it with hashtag HeyPhotoWorld, and we'll follow along and see what great things you have to say. Happy shooting!